Welcome to Cue the Real, the podcast to get unstuck and manifest the life that's calling you. I'm your host, Lindsay Brand, a military veteran who built success in the private sector until the universe guided me to something deeper, helping people move from stuck to fully aligned through manifestation. I blend neuroscience, personal stories, and the most practical tools to shine a light on what's holding you back so you can manifest the life you truly want. Hey friends. You know that moment when you realize your days are running on autopilot? You start with genuine excitement for what's possible, yet somehow the hours slip by in reactivity, distractions, and the disappointment of not quite living the version of life you feel deep down is meant for you. I've lived in that gap for years. The turning point came when I stopped waiting for motivation and started choosing intention instead. One clear, conscious decision about who I wanted to be in each moment of life completely reframed everything that followed. Today, we're going deeper into the real power behind being intentional. We'll look at how deliberately setting an intention activates your brain's focus networks, dials down stress, and transforms routine actions into aligned creation. By the end of this episode, you'll have clear, practical ways to make setting intentions your new baseline, so every day pulls you closer to the magnetic, unlimited life that's already waiting for you. Let's cue the real. Let's talk about the neuroscience of intention, because this actually changes how your brain engages with experience. When you set an intention, you're giving your brain a clear direction for attention. Without one, the mind naturally drifts. But when an intention is named, attention becomes more organized, and the brain shifts out of automatic, mind-wandering patterns into networks involved in focus, awareness, and decision-making. You can do this before any activity, working out, journaling, meditating. The activity itself doesn't change, but how your brain processes it does. The experience becomes more present and more engaging. With intention, emotional regulation improves. You're less likely to react on autopilot and more able to respond with flexibility. Over time, practicing this kind of deliberate focus strengthens neural pathways linked to attention control, self-regulation, and resilience, a process known as neuroplasticity. So intention isn't magic, it's training. You're repeatedly teaching your brain what to prioritize, how to respond, and where to place awareness. Think of intention like setting a destination before you start moving. You still have to take the steps, but without direction, your energy scatters. With direction, momentum builds. And when momentum builds, life starts to feel less accidental and more consciously shaped. And speaking of that deliberate act of creation, let me share something that happened to me just a few days ago. It was one of those moments where everything clicked into place. I ended up doing another quantum healing hypnosis technique, or QHHT session, with a good friend of mine for energy clearing with my absolute favorite certified hypnotist, Jeanette Rojas. I talked about my first session in season 1, episode 10, so if you haven't listened to that yet, I highly suggest it. For this session, she led our group through 2 powerful hypnotizations, and right at the start of both, she guided us to set a clear intention. She emphasized how crucial that step is. Now, I've heard about the importance of setting intentions before, of course, probably over 100 times in books, videos, my own work. But this time it finally sunk all the way in. You know how they say in marketing you have to hear something at least 7 times before it sinks in and you buy? For me, it can be like that with the deeper truths. I can understand the concept intellectually, but there are these special moments when it just clicks. When it moves from head knowledge to heart knowing. This was one of those times. As she spoke those words, I had this instant, oh, yeah, why haven't I been doing that? It dawned on me how much I'd been skipping that deliberate step in my daily life, in meditation, visualization, journaling, everything, everywhere. And in that realization, something shifted. Nothing dramatic happened externally right then, but internally, my whole perspective flipped. Now I think differently. I approach my days, my practices, my manifestations with intention front and center. It's one of those times in your life where nothing from that moment forward will be the same ever again. And my life has this new layer of direction and alignment that wasn't there before. And that's what we're talking about today. Not just setting an intention once, but letting that conscious choice become your new way of being. So if you're feeling that spark right now, or even if you're skeptical, let's make it practical. Here's how you can start setting intentions that make a difference and create that same kind of shift in your own life. Okay, so after that QHHT moment with Jeanette, I walked away thinking, all right, no more half-in intentions or doing something without one. And the simplest shifts have made the biggest difference. These are the ones I use every day that are super effective. Pick one, try it for a few days, and see what clicks for you. The first one is the morning intention anchor. The first thing you do when you wake up is set an intention. I do this before I even move. Something like, today I intend to move through my day with calm confidence. Or my favorite, today is going to be awesome. Or whatever version feels true for you. Then take a moment to feel it. Let your body shift into that energy. And intention without any feeling behind it is like turning on a car engine but keeping your foot off the gas. It just idles in place without ever heading anywhere meaningful. This little ritual sets the tone before the world rushes in. Your brain gets pointed in the right direction from the start instead of playing catch up later in the day. Number 2 is a pre-activity intention. Before you sit down to do anything, meditate, journal, visualize, work out, or even before a client call or hypnosis session, set an intention like, in this session, I intend to receive clear guidance and release anything that no longer serves me. Or, I intend to feel strong, focused, and fully present in my body. The activity stays the same, but the whole experience changes, and you'll see that. It's like flipping a switch. Less scattered thoughts, more depth, more flow. Try it before the next thing you do and notice how much more in it you feel. Number 3 is the nightly write it down reset. Every evening, or at least a few times a week, grab a notebook or your phone notes and write one clear intention for the next day or the week ahead. Something like, I intend to trust the timing of my manifestations and show up fully in the opportunities that are already here. Read it out loud, close your eyes, and picture it happening. Feel the relief, the excitement, the calm certainty, all the emotions that come with it. The last one, number 4, is the reactivity reset. This is for when life tries to pull you off track. Emails piling up, stress is creeping in, any obstacle pops up. Stop and take a deep breath before you react to what's going on and set an intention. Something like, right now I intend to choose presence and respond from alignment. It interrupts the autopilot loop and brings you back to center. Super helpful on busy or emotional days. And like I said before, these aren't magic spells. They're just ways to give your brain the clear direction it craves. Start with whichever one feels easiest. I'd say the morning anchor if you're new to this. Do it for a week straight and pay attention. Do your choices feel more deliberate? Do you bounce back from distractions faster? Do little aligned things start showing up more often? And most importantly, do you feel like you're living instead of just existing? Before we close, let's recap, because that was a lot if you're new to this. We went through the science that makes it real, how setting a clear direction activates your brain's focus networks, quiets stress, and builds stronger pathways for calm and confidence every time you repeat it. We talked about my QHHT session with Jeanette Rojas, when the idea I'd heard so many times finally sunk in deep in my heart and changed how I move through life. I'll link her page in the description if you're interested in a session with her. And now you've got 4 simple ways to bring intention into your own life. First thing in the morning, before an activity, before bed, and or when something pops up in your life that you're about to react to. Choose one that feels easy right now. Add that felt sense, not just the words, but the energy in your body, and give it a few days. You'll notice the difference. Decisions that feel more yours, less autopilot, more flow, more synchronicity. Thank you for being here with me today. Thank you for listening, for giving yourself this space, for being open to choosing intention. That choice alone is already changing things for you. If this episode inspired you to take action, I'd love to hear one thing. What intention are you setting this week? Drop it in the comments, shoot me a text or an email. Messages from listeners make my day like no other. And remember, setting an intention is you steering yourself toward the life that's already waiting for you. Until next time.